Welcome to another episode of the Most Serious Podcast. And I think by today's episode, the most excited person to hear this one is probably going to be my mom because she has always been wanted to get into the world of dancing somehow or the other. She wants to develop that practice of dancing or habit of dancing, but she's never gotten around it consistently. So I think, Pallavi ma'am, thank you so much for coming on the show and, spending time with us. Super grateful to have you.
Ah, thank you so much, Ripudaman. Lovely name again. And of course, yeah, love to your mom. I can understand, it's not easy being mom. And I'm sure she will come back, you can force her, and
Yeah.
then she will take her time out. And then I'm sure she will start dancing again for herself. I think I would love to do, push her around, just give my
Yeah.
number to her.
I think let's start right there with what you just said. I think that's very interesting. You just said, starts dancing for herself. And I feel
Yeah.
those are very powerful three, four words that you just said. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Looking at your journey, like did you realize that you liked dancing for yourself, like at an early age, or was it like a late realization? How let's start there.
Okay, so I think dance is my life,
Okay.
and I didn't know it's been gifted, So since childhood, I have been dancing. I didn't know. Like my mom got to know, oh, okay, she's dancing. Okay, so let her put into some classical class, but the classical, let her learn classical so that she will have a rhythm in her life, And so that's how my mom, thanks to my mom, where she noticed about my dancing
Yeah.
thing. And then she said, okay, let's start early. And I think television was also the big part
Yeah.
of our Bollywood, frankly speaking. So I was very keen on watching जो आपको अच्छा लगता है वही आप ज्यादा देखते हो ना. So the songs and the dance, and I used to imitate all the dance steps. What the songs I used to watch, or and any rhythm I used to start dancing since childhood. So I think that was in me, and I think my mom helped me a lot to explore myself. She knew me so well that she put it me, she insisted me to go for classes, music ho, yeah, dance ho. She always wanted us to learn something nice for ourselves. Maybe they missed it, but they wanted us to do it, and that's how I have been doing.
Hmm. Hmm. But I think that is also, there's a saying that I don't remember exactly which movie or, which author said this, but there's something like people who, judge the people who are dancing or are just the ones who cannot hear the music. Because I think people who are, into dancing or people who are into form of creative production of any sort, making it music or
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
they can see, they can feel something which the people who don't practice that craft can't, because I feel there's a energy in that dance practice, or there's just a flow state which you achieve, I'm sure, because
Yes,
you've done
yes,
this at a
yes,
professional level, that
yes.
you just are lost to your art and not to your person.
Very well said. Very well said. Because, of course, it takes time to achieve this much, that divine state of yours, you
Yeah.
need practice, of course, you need. Dance is like a meditation for me. I don't need anything. Of course, I will not say I don't need any meditation as that sort, but I think dance is I don't know, it's so important for me. Like dance, because of dance I'm here. Because of
Hmm.
dance people know me, and
Yeah.
because of dance what God has given me, that I have respected that in me, and I have continued so far, and I will continue, whether I'm working or doing something else in my life, but this will not go.
Hmm.
So I think it's a divine state for the artist in any art form, whether it's a music, whether it's dance, whether it's your craft or whatever. I think that's a divine state where you have to practice it. It's not just easy. ऐसे नहीं कि मुझे डांस आता है तो मुझे अभी सब मालूम है. No, you have to put in your sure dedication and hard work, and that's how you achieve it. It's not a simple process again. So yeah, that's how.
Ma'am, but at your, level of, achievements that you've done, you've been on different shows, you've consulted, different styles of dancing, and you've done a lot. I think fair share of your work in this industry.
Yes,
How
yes,
do you
yes.
still be so humble enough or keen enough onto learning things? Like, don't you feel ever that you have kind of achieved most of there is to this format?
Uh, you know what? Like I always love to learn. I love to explore. I would love to learn from this young generation, or and that's how I was the part of Dance Deewane season 3 at age of 40.
Yeah.
Normally people don't do it. Like maybe few of my friends, they are very relaxed. Okay, हमने तो dance कर लिया भाई, अब नहीं करना है जो भी. See, of course, again, it is your individual choice.
Yeah.
I always been, I'm very hungry in
Yeah.
art way, or maybe in my zone where I want to learn, I want to explore, I want to do few things, and I keep upgrading myself. And for me also, my journey also started as a dancer, background dancer. I never knew that was a job. I never knew, oh,
Okay.
aise hota hai. Like you call it as a manifestation now,
Yeah.
but back then I used to watch all these songs, and I used to feel, I used to just seek, I want to be there somewhere. I never thought कि मुझे कुछ हीरो हीरोइन बननी है ना, मुझे नहीं बनना था, हीरो हीरोइन नहीं करना है, मुझे इतना भी नहीं करना है. I was very
Yeah.
simple girl, but I wanted to be there. I don't know how and why. I always wanted to be there,
Hmm.
and that's how it is. And Madhuri Dixit was my idol. I used to watch her movies, her dancing. She was my dancing classes, because that time we couldn't afford so many classes.
Yeah.
So so she was my class, and that's how I started. And God is great. I think He has supported me so much. Like I always say, I'm blessed, because I started as a dancer, and वो भी ऐसे ही हुआ. मैंने ऐसे
Hmm.
सोचा नहीं कि आपको जॉब मिल रही है 12 के बाद, है ना. And dancing तभी के ज़माने में, it was never respectfully seen, or they never used to consider it as a job. And why not? Now I
Yeah.
feel, why not? It is a job, like how you're doing your job. It's like me going for shoots. I'm working for a shift, 7 a.m. to
Yeah.
10 a.m. shift, 12-hour shift, and I'm coming back home. That's my job. But that
Hmm.
time it was never considered as a job. So it was just a flow for me. अच्छा ये shoot किया, हाँ चल चल अभी ये shoot करते हैं, अभी ये shoot करते हैं.
Hmm.
It just happened, और ऐसे में 2-3 साल निकल गए, फिर पता चला यार, earning good, why not?
Yeah.
And then let's save the money, let's do this, because I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it. Might as well, if I'm doing some job, I'm doing this. And that's why I did it. It was just in a flow.
And how was your, I think this is always very few people get to experience this, what you've got, experiencing, sharing a stage with your idols, your icons, your role
Yes,
models. So how was
yes.
that experience with Madhuri Dixit, ma'am, like, on dancing with her or just, performing in front of her?
Yeah, oh my God. That, I think, your dream come true. Or maybe it's like when you आप दिल से चाहते हो, और पूरी कायनात आपको वो
Yeah.
कोशिश लगते है, वो है ना, that's a famous dialogue in
Yeah. Yeah.
Shahrukh Khan's movie. So पूरी कायनात आपके पीछे लग जाती है. So maybe I think it's very true. It's how आप इतने अंदर से चाहते हो कि मुझे वो चाहिए. And maybe शायद वो बचपन से innocently we have been manifesting. Even I'm sure even you must be manifesting. Even you don't know, but you will achieve.
Yeah.
Ahead. But that's how your strong emotions are. Your strong willpower is. That's how you have to believe in yourself. That's very important. So yeah. So being working with Madhuri ji, awesome. Like I had 2-3 experiences that way, because मैं जब इंडस्ट्री में आई तभी उन्होंने देवदास करके उन्होंने वो गैप लिया था. सो आई थॉट कि शायद मैं इनके साथ काम कर पाऊंगी या नहीं कर पाऊंगी. एंड इट वाज बहुत दूर की बात थी, मतलब कभी मैंने सोचा नहीं कि ओ
Yeah.
माय गॉड आई विल इवन वर्क विद हर. But it just happened. There was this one, she had come after her break, sabbatical, I think, and that was her reality show, Kahi Pe Kahi Koi Hai. That was some matrimonial reality show. तो
Hmm.
उसके लिए मुझे असिस्टेंट के लिए बुलाया था, and she was there, and I was like shocked. I was in a state of shock for the entire day. I hardly had a 2 hours work with Madhuri. I didn't even click picture with her. I was in shock. Like मैंने उनको सिखाया और मैं ऐसी थी पूरे शूट में. मतलब मुझे समझ में ही नहीं आया कि मैं इनके साथ काम कर रही हूँ. फिर उसके बाद फिर और मैंने फोटो वोटो नहीं खींचा अच्छे से, एंड आई डोंट. और तभी फोन्स इतने वो नहीं थे कि ओ
Okay. Okay.
वाओ,
Yeah.
लाइक
Yeah.
आई थिंक इन 2007 नहीं, 2005.
I think, yeah, no
That
smartphones back then. Yeah.
no smartphones back then. सो हमारा काम भी ऐसा रहा ना, लाइक वो ऑफ कोर्स आई कम दैट लेटर। तो वो मैं शॉक थी, और फिर मुझे इतना बुरा लग गया कि मैंने ना फोटो खींचा ना मैंने उनसे ज्यादा बात किया। ऑफ कोर्स शी वाज सो स्वीट। फिर उसके बाद कई सालों बाद देन ये डांस दीवाने आए, वेयर आई गॉट टू नो शी इज द जज एंड आई एम लाइक this is my opportunity and I have to kill it. And then that was it. That was an amazing journey. I got a chance to perform in front of her, and she loved it. And I was the only contestant who got a lot of 100 rupees from her, a token of love. And
Yeah.
she had performed with me almost all my episodes. So I think
Hmm.
उससे बड़ी बात और क्या हो सकती है यार? Like the best
Yeah.
memories I could have.
I think honestly, it's so inspirational to see someone who you used to look up to, and
Yeah.
then sharing the stage with them, or performing in front of
Yes.
them. I think that's the full circle of what you can do in
Yes.
a journey of trying in a pursuit of something. But
Yes. Yes.
I want to ask this question for a for the realist audience. Like there are
Mhm.
so many people in general who I know who want
Mhm.
to. And first, let's start not just specific to dance, but in general, I want to
Yeah.
understand your kind of daily routine. That how many people are there who want to start new habits, who want to pick up new things, but they always struggle with the consistency, or maybe with just following up on their activities, or following up on their plan of doing that habit. How do you still make sure that you are not losing that side of yours, you are not losing your that dance touch of yours? Because I know for you it's as maybe you're more passionate about dance than the rest of the people, but how do you still make sure that you are functional and you are following up on the tasks that, or the habits that you lay out for yourself? And how do people consistently try to go in that direction?
Yeah. Okay. So firstly, you have to understand that we are not 100% right or correct. It's okay, even if you're not there. But making an attempt and coming out of comfort zone is what I think you should be doing that, and follow. Everyone cannot be so disciplined. Everyone cannot be, I think it's up to you, and you have to take it slowly. Like even for me, it was difficult to do few things in life. I have molded myself. Oh, I know now because of this, I will get this, and I have to try my best. You have to
Yeah.
try. You have to come out of your comfort zone. I think that is the most important thing, and not to put a pressure or the peer pressure. Oh ये ऐसा कर रहा है, वो ऐसा कर रहा है, इसलिए मैं ऐसे करूंगी, या वो manifest कर रहा है इसलिए मैं करूंगी नहीं. You should know yourself. I
Yeah.
think that is more important. And it's okay even if you're not there, even if it's okay even if you're average, it's okay. I think it's your dedication and work, like hard work towards your any aim that completes you. Not necessarily you have to be, oh my God, I'm 100% correct, or I am like this. No, no. I think you love yourself, you know yourself, you should know your journey. No one is going to come and help you. You are the only answer for yourself, I think. So you have to discover yourself. That's the only choice you have in life.
uh 1 second, ma'am. I think my video kind of froze.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
second.
Yep,
Are you
I'm
okay?
back. Yeah, 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 back. We'll get this edited. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so having said that, you need to discover yourself.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
do you feel that, since let's talk about a specific demographic, which is, Indian moms who want to think of doing something after, becoming moms. And I think
yeah,
that conversation is just like, personally, I feel, and, this is just my observation, that in India, we've kind of, made our society, or just made our norms in a manner that after having kids, like a mom's only duty, or her only kind of path for life is just making sure the house is correct, making sure the kids are all right, making sure everyone is doing well in life. but there is
Yeah.
very less talk about how is that individual, doing in her own life. Like, how is her individual identity? Is she fulfilled in senses of, creativity, in senses of career development, in senses of, just general experience of life as an individual? Because I think we really forget that in, and that's part of the Indian culture. Maybe we are too emotional and attached
We're
to our
born and
families
brought
and our
up that
kids.
way. No?
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think that is true, but I
Yeah.
think there is a
Yeah.
certain loss of identity. And how do you
Yeah.
navigate that, being an Indian woman of, and being a kid of, being a mom of kids?
I think this is the what to say amazing question, and I think women now, I think they have got it sorted with themselves. But of course, yes, we have been born and brought up that way, where and the nature of woman is also such where we take care. We take care
Yeah.
of our family, no matter what. Even if I'm a Miss Universe, I'll come home and I'll do that. I think that's the basic nature where, of course, man has to go out and own for their family, and they are more responsible. I think these are the two basic natures of being human, the man and woman. So I
Yeah.
think that we all are doing so well. It's just sometimes we complex it between too much of feminist or too much of. I always respect man and woman in their own ways and
Yeah.
characteristics, and I totally respect that. I'm not going to take, oh मैंने जन्म दिया इसलिए मैंने ये किया वो किया. No, okay, it's your responsibility, it's my responsibility
Yeah.
too. But yes, having said that, I being like, for I'll talk for me. Why? Because I was always an independent woman,
Hmm.
always. Like, I started very early at my age and started earning for my family, and I have been taking care of my
Hmm.
family
Yeah.
from even 16, you know. And yes, of course, girls are responsible. I will say even boys are now. It's not like that. But girls are more emotional towards their family, right? Taking
Yeah.
care, because that's our nature. There's no rocket science into it.
Yeah.
So so and that's how, like, I was always an independent woman. I have to be like, I got married like how we usually do in our society. Then I got settled myself because I don't want it, because for industry, like the ones who have a job, at least they can take sabbatical nicely, or they have, kind of a duration where they can,
Yeah.
sit at home and they come back to their job. But for freelancers or for any artist, even for actors, actresses, or my film fraternity, we are freelancers. So we don't have job as such. So that's how
Hmm.
I planned. Okay, it's okay. I will work till, this much. And then one I conceive, then I will not work, because of course I wanted to spend that time. I
Yeah.
wanted to experience motherhood, and I think every woman loves it. And I was into it totally.
Yeah.
And it went long for 6 to 7 years. You know, Actually, I could have gone back
Yeah.
in a year or two, but I was with my son. I wanted him to grow. I wanted him to, like, it was my moment. It was my thing where I wanted to, and that was my individual choice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did that. But somewhere or the other, I was losing myself as a Pallavi. Like, I was a mom, I was a housewife, I was doing everything, like the chopping, se leke wo. So even in that show, even in Dance Deewane, I was like, all were going ahead, and I was there chopping my kanda, and that line got so famous because that came within me.
Yeah.
I was not jealous of my friends, but then I was thinking, oh my God, wo to mere saath thi, oh, she's doing that, oh, she's doing that. I was happy for them, of course. Like, I was not jealous, but
Yeah.
I was missing myself because I was not dancing. And if you miss something in yourself, what you love, there's no point, what you're
Hmm.
doing in your life.
Yeah.
Of course, I had a baby, but then I was not happy with it.
Hmm.
And then that's how I took the decision. Okay, now here I have to prove myself again, because I had a long break of 8 years.
Yeah.
I was fully into my other life, and I have not been dancing,
Hmm.
like, and in fact, like, my right knee, was not functioning properly. And I'm like, oh my God, now what to do? So doctor said, you can't dance. I'm like,
Oh.
what? ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता. तो मैंने वो challenge ले लिया. Like,
I
how you
love
can tell
this.
me I can't dance?
I
And
love
then,
this nature of, Indian
yeah,
moms just telling anyone, yeah, the way
yeah.
to
Like, of course, unless it is a too much where surgical things are happening, that's fine. But otherwise, ऐसे कोई बोलेगा आप नाच नहीं तो बोलो what? I'm not dancing anyway. She says, no, I have to start dancing now. And then I said, चलो ठीक है, I will try some dance classes. So then मैंने फिर तभी सोचा कि चलो मैं moms को सिखाऊंगी, because I was into that zone where really यार मतलब all my friends, they have left everything and they are towards their babies and your husband and your kind of a sansar ऐसे. So see, all women are like that and we're made that way. So there is
Yeah.
no this thing कि उसमें क्या ही है. There are other women who really manage well, like बच्चा है काम है, like for example Kareena Kapoor, yeah, she is amazing,
Yeah.
very well planned probably ऐसे. तो शायद मेरा वो तरीका था. Everyone has their own thing. So that's how I did. And then Dance Deewane came. तो उसके पहले मैं डांस क्लासेस लेती थी और मैं मॉम्स को ही सिखाती थी कि मुझे
Okay.
उनको सिखाना है. Like I started teaching moms only. So I had a
Okay.
batches of moms. I used to teach them. They used to come. It was like a me time for us. Like I used to
Mm.
meditate with them. I used to dance, and I started, you know, back life again. Like I was happy
Yeah.
back again. And then Dance Deewane came, and that's how my journey started. So yeah,
Mm.
that's how it is. I think it's too long.
I think, see, ma'am, I feel that, talking to a person like you, who's certainly
Huh?
achieved a lot and, who has such simple foundational principles of thinking and of life. Like, you don't overcomplicate your life. I can see that from your outlook.
No, yes,
And
yes.
I feel that that is so missing when I see that, across my generation, because we are just used to
Hmm.
having so much, stimulation around us. Like, we are used to getting, making things complicated, always overthinking about what could be possibly something better that I can get out of my present,
Yeah.
not just ever being content within the place that you are, and just being on the lookout for something else. I think that is a cause of major unrest, I guess, in younger.
Because for your generation is a very diverse generation. The
Hmm.
exposure is unparalleled. And it's not easy for you guys either. It's not easy for you guys. So I think you should work in that way. It's okay. That's fine. Yeah, but that those challenges are yours, right? For our
Yeah.
generation, we had to fight to get one thing.
Yeah.
Now, for y'all to fight to get one thing, you have 10,000 things around you. So imagine what
Hmm.
kind of a pressure y'all have. For
Hmm.
that, for that thinking, you can't be simply unrested or something. You have to fight for it because you have so many options around you, so many competitions around you. I think, and your generation will, you guys are that way, and see, you're doing well.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
people
i'm
are crazy, and you
i'm
have to be crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I think that is something that is common across, all of the most of the guests that I've interviewed on the show, and I think they always say
Yeah.
this, that they're incredibly patient, in
Hmm.
what their craft is, and they
Hmm.
have, this, unfathomable belief, almost like yours. Like, dance
Hmm.
तो मेरे को करना ही है. There's no
Hmm.
second way of life that कि
Hmm.
dance अगर मैं
Hmm.
आपकी life से हटा दूं तो you will feel like, half of your life is
Hmm.
gone. I think that
Hmm.
is just so true to people who dedicate themselves to their crafts. And I think that is the only way you
Yes.
can be like successful outside of the norm.
Yes. 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 Very much. Very
You have
much.
to fall in love with, your craft and just give yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. You have to love what you're doing. You have to be passionate about it. Otherwise, there's no point doing it. And I
But
think,
what were your, I think all of this is very, inspirational and, very inspiring for someone who wants to start out this career maybe,
hmm,
and also to, just begin their, on the side dancing journey. But I want to ask, what are some of the, you know things that you faced alone, like during your this journey, during your dance competitions, and during the shows that you went to, because I'm sure that is also a very high pressure, high stake environment in which you have practiced a
yeah.
lot, but you have to deliver all of that and it has to look like a performance. You don't have
Yeah.
to look stressed, because I think dancing is the only
Yes.
form wherein you can, you will show your stress in a second, because your face will give it away,
Hmm.
your emotions might
Yes.
give it away if you've
Yes.
not
Yes.
practiced them enough. So how do
Yeah.
you manage that stage pressure, or how do you manage that, expectations which are from you now, because you're such an established person?
Hmm. Okay, so here it goes again with my long journey. See, again, the struggles are very different in it. I don't know how to explain this. I think I have made that way. You know why? Because for a performer or for any artist, camera on hota hai, hum on ho jate hain. No matter
Hmm.
what I'm thinking, no matter what I'm not well, no matter what I have faced, the pure pressure, but then I have to perfect because camera captures the real you. You
Yeah.
can't cheat in front of camera. That's what I feel. Okay.
Hmm.
An artist is an artist who forgets when I'm stage, I'm different.
Okay. Hmm.
That's it. Like if I'm talking to you, like if we
Yeah.
are conversing now, I'm a different Pallavi. But when you see me on stage, I'm
Hmm.
different. Like I don't know myself. Like
Wow.
stage is life for me. Like once I enter that stage, it's the beautiful vision for me. Like I don't know which world I enter in. I think that's the
Yeah.
beautiful process. I miss my stage performance at times if I'm not doing because I've been working now in another way. That's how it is. And I think we're born and brought up that way. You know,
Yeah.
like your struggles teaches you, you know, how to be. And I think you're passionate about you do it, no matter what. यार मतलब मैं कितना भी आपको बोलूं यार अभी ये है वो है, but you'll make sure okay whatever it is I will do my podcast no matter
Hmm.
what.
Yeah.
You know, I
That's
think
true.
that's what we have been brought up. Like कभी पैर टूटा है, वर्ल्ड टूर्स हम लोग जाते थे. We used to practice for 12 to 14 hours. खाना खाने के बाद भी full out practice करनी है. Our
Hmm.
body is used to it. Being a backup dancer, it is not an easy job. You have to keep dancing the entire day. बीच में break मिलता है. खाना खाओ, वापस नाचो. Normally हम क्या सोचेंगे अरे अभी तो खाना खाया क्यों? Why do you have
Yeah.
to dance? But for us, no. We'll dance on stones, we'll dance in spite of rain, summer, sun, we are burning, our skin is burning, but still with makeup, we are dancing.
Yeah.
You know, so doing an outdoor shoot, world tours मैंने किए हैं जहाँ पे कभी मैं गिर गई हूँ नीचे मेरा हाथ टूटा है या you know the muscle pull and all, but then we are dancing no matter what you're dancing. I have a fever, you know, high fever, and then I'm not resting, I'm dancing, I'm doing my job and then resting. I think we have made that way, like not only me, in my dancer fraternity we all are so strong, you
Yeah.
know, and that's how our journey is. And so even in Dance Deewane at age of 40 I could compete with the youngsters.
Yeah.
That time I got to know that oh yes, it is all in head.
Hmm.
You know, you can do anything, you can achieve anything if you think you can, you know. So even in that case I remember I have so many. Firstly, my choreographer, like I performed with my mentor Kumar Sharma ji, and he's a classical performer, and he's been practicing his art more than 15 years now. And I have done Kathak in my childhood.
Okay.
I haven't finished my Kathak
Yeah.
graduation also, but I made sure that I perform like him. Like I
Hmm.
made sure I could match him. Otherwise, I was out of the show if I
Hmm.
couldn't match him. So I was dancing like a pro. I will not say I'm a pro, but I was dancing like a pro with him. Like people
Yeah.
now think that I'm a Kathak performer. Yeah. See, of course, I love Kathak. I have done
Yeah.
training in my childhood. I couldn't finish because I started working early. That's why. But then now I'm a pro Kathak. They think, oh, Pallavi ma'am, अभी भी मुझे messages आते हैं, moms के आते हैं या बच्चों के आते हैं कि please help us with the Kathak thing, or you take the workshops of. See, imagine like I've changed that perception.
Yeah.
People think that I'm a proper Kathak performer. And I
Hmm.
don't mind because I have worked hard on it, you know, like I
Yeah.
have, and I will work hard. You know, I will not go suddenly and teach Kathak, but then I will work hard on my craft. You know, there were a point where I had a high fever and cold and cough, and I'm dancing, practicing for 10 hours on ice for my ice act. It was not
Wow.
easy. Yes, and
That's
there were so
crazy.
many things. Yeah, and I have bruises all over my body. Of course, my mentor also. So we
Yeah.
were practicing that. There was certain point my BP used to get low. Of course, at certain age, you have few not complications, I will say, but then as a woman, yeah, you tend to have low BP. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes basically, आप मम्मी को पूछे कि यार low BP हो जाती है यार, शुगर नहीं है, कुछ ऐसा हो जाता है. तो but then still again I'm performing with that
Yeah.
high energy, whom I'm matching 10 years younger to me.
Hmm.
you know.
Yes.
So there was so every day there was a challenge, you know, every
Hmm.
day there was a challenge, and I'm glad I crossed all that thing. And I think that's why I'm here today, you know. So that's the
Yeah,
beautiful
no,
journey of it.
that's
Yeah,
so
I
true.
think it's so I think you have to work hard, and there is no other way now. You have to be humble, you have to work hard on your craft, and then that's how your journey goes ahead.
I think I also, I am a physiological geek. I've started to think about human physiology a lot, like, how our bodies
Oh,
are made
love.
and how
Hmm.
we function most optimally. So I
Yeah.
try to, in whatever my lifestyle is, I try to make it the most physiologically optimal that I can. And there's this person
Hmm.
called Andrew Huberman, who's a,
Yeah.
neurobiologist at Stanford. He has a show called the Huberman Lab, and he talks a
Oh,
lot about,
lovely.
effective ways to, just hack your body.
Yeah.
So I would want to ask this from you that, since you've been kind of active so much in dance, and there
Mhm.
are, you would have possibly faced a couple of injuries due to that, some some difference of physiological load that you've put on your body. But outside of that, I want you to highlight that, is, being connected to this form made you healthy mentally, physically, emotionally? Like, are there any side effects to dancing as well, which are, positive, net positive for your mind and for your body?
Wow, that's amazing question. I think uh, what made positive and negative thing, I think it depends on your individuality, frankly
Okay.
speaking.
Hmm.
I think so, you know, and how you grow yourself, how you work on yourself, how you make, you create yourself, right? That's how
Okay.
you create yourself, how you understand yourself.
Hmm.
You know, so of course, yes, there are negative aspects a lot. There are a lot of uh, challenges you have to face
Yeah.
being a girl, being
Yeah.
a boy in our industry, I will say, you know.
Hmm.
So there are
Okay.
a lot of challenges you have to, you know, you have to prove yourself. Like when I started, I was dancing like initial days. Like firstly, I had a challenge. I started dancing normally in normal groups, but then I had a challenge. No, I want to go get into that group. Like for example, Ganesh Hegde was my one of my thing where I wanted to dance with him. Like he used to do
Hmm.
world tours, or उनका
Yeah.
तभी ऐसा था कि he used to only audition or he used to choose his dancer.
Okay. Hmm.
मैं हाँ वो वैसा था तभी के जमाने. So
Hmm.
and that's how he saw me some of the shows and he asked me for, you know, his group. So for to prove, to learn, I think it is, there are a lot of challenges, you know, and of course
Yeah.
girls have their own, boys have their own,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of kind of, there are people who pull you down, there are people who manipulate you, there are people who think, oh, you're not even good, or you don't even look nice, Pallavi, oh, you, how come you're here, you know, there are
Hmm.
people. But I think, and at the times you have no confidence in yourself, you know, you self doubt.
Yeah.
But वो तो तभी भी था, वो तो उसके बाद when I got like pregnant, उसके बाद when I had a sabbatical, तभी भी self doubt था.
Hmm.
You know, so I think that's your nature, that's your thing. So when I did this Dance Deewane, I realized it's all you.
Hmm.
You know, all, तभी भी मैं competition थी हमारी, tough competition थी. Of course, I could not compete with the young girl who is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
in my generation also, I had a lovely competition with my
Hmm.
same, you know,
Yeah.
age.
That
You
batch.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
of course, we had an amazing competition, and I used to take that. In initial days, it was bothering me a lot.
Yeah.
No, I want to prove, and because everyone wants to do their best, because everyone have worked hard and they want to do it. And
Hmm.
then that's how I started channelizing myself. Okay, I'm not going to waste my energy elsewhere. I will do what I want. I will give my 200%, not even 100. I'll give my 200%, and then I'll leave it up to God.
Hmm.
That's what my thing was. And then I did it. And it just happened.
Yeah.
I think so. It's your individual journey. It's how you feel. Because of course, and that's how you train, right? You, where you
Okay.
go to your, you get into your depression mode. You have a anxiety. Oh my
Yeah.
God, how much anxiety! Like my BP used to go down. I used to sweat a lot and then I used to chant. You only discover yourself. You
Hmm.
only answer yourself.
Hmm.
I have read that book, Life is What You Get It. I think by Preeti, she's the author, Preeti
Okay.
Shenoy or Menon. I will surely find out. The life is what you make it. Life is
Okay.
what you make it. I think that book have helped me a lot. I read
Hmm.
it so much before, but I think that's how you make it. You discover yourself about it. You discover your thing. Okay, I have this problem. You have to realize that yes, you have a problem, and you discover it for yourself. I think that's a simple thing. Then you don't need and your people around you. I think your
Yeah.
parents will help you in that. Your people will help you to go ahead. I think so. ये negative positive तो होते ही जाना है हर एक की जिंदगी में ना every stages you should have such things. That's how you stand yourself up, you
Yeah.
learn and see yourself.
मैम बट आपको
That's
ऐसा लगता है कि लाइक मोस्टली जैसा लाइफस्टाइल अब लोग लीड करते हैं एटलीस्ट यंग प्रोफेशनल आई कैन से मोस्टली सेडेंटरी मोस्टली सिटिंग ऑन देयर डेस्क जॉब्स एंड नॉट एज एक्टिव as much because of possibly the nature of job and possibly because of the nature of entertainment because it's always
Hmm.
screen oriented. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
entertaining now to act or to do something else, or maybe even
Hmm.
go watch a play. So I
Yeah.
recently went and saw two plays, and I think that is a different experience in altogether. Like, if you just take some time out and try consciously to not see screens, then there's a whole different world of entertainment waiting for you. Like,
Oh
maybe you can go and
yes.
see live dance shows, you can go and see live music shows, you can go and
Yes.
see plays. That is
Yes.
a lost form of entertainment which we've just kind of forgotten about, like which we used to love.
Oh. So sweet of you at your age. You're, asking me this question because the musicals, I love musicals. I was
Yeah,
part of musicals. Even the folk shows where I used to do it for Ganpati festivals, I think we are missing that. We have a vast diverse folk fair, like every
yeah,
every city have a different folk dances, and India is amazing in that,
yeah,
Rajasthani, yeah, Maharashtra ke folk dances ho. And in my childhood we used to do all these folk shows around the city, on the roads, we used to have those mandal, small small things, where
yeah,
now the Ganpati festivals are just for money mending business, or
yeah,
they get one politician. I'm sorry to say that, of course, politician, I'm not against them, but earlier back then we used to perform, on every pandals of, whether it is Durga Puja, whether it is Ganpati festival in Mumbai, I'm talking about. So and even now in Delhi, we have Ramayan Gatha,
yeah,
and the Bhajan Sandhya.
yeah.
These were the forms of course, you may not be aware of, maybe you were not part of, maybe tum shayad bore ho jaoge, but
Hmm.
those were the things where the storytelling things, it
Exactly.
was so beautiful.
Yeah.
The stories, we used to depict all the stories of Ram and the Radha Krishna, or
Hmm.
in Maharashtra, so many, like the Bhakti Geet and Bhav Geet. So I'm aware of all that, like Jnaneshwari ho, sab sadhu sant ki jo gathaएं ho. Even that is, I'm aware of it. But after me, y'all don't know anything about it. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
not your problem. It's not your
Yeah.
problem because we have forgotten to, put it across to this generation. Probably even I should be doing that, like I feel like I should be taking workshop for kids, I should creating those plays, and
Yeah.
very few organizations who are doing it,
Hmm.
but in a very small this thing. But I think,
No, I
yeah,
think
that we're missing a lot.
that is something I've personally experienced because the last play that I watched was written by Gulzar, and it's based on Shakespeare's Comedy of
Yeah.
Errors. Like
Yeah.
it's two by two. I'm not sure if you've
Huh.
seen it, but you should definitely go and take your
I'll
kid as well.
surely.
Go see that play.
Yeah.
I think it's it's a different portal of entertainment. It's a different engagement experience. Like, I just feel while watching reels or while watching a Netflix show or while watching just some TV show, I am just receiving those, entertainment signals from a very passive angle. Like, I am not also as
Yeah.
invested into the movie because I'm not sitting into an auditorium, because I'm not seeing someone live
Yeah.
perform. I think that's
Yeah.
truly an artist's escape as well. Like when you are
Yeah.
on a stage, as you just said, you are a different person, and possibly,
Yes.
you might not achieve that sitting in alone in a room, while recording on your tripod. You will get that exhilaration of that crowd. You will
Yeah.
want that, applause post your performance. And I think that is what truly enables an artist in their full
Yeah.
expression.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So that is, I think that is, honestly the case which I feel, culture is kind of lacking once we move towards too much towards screen. But my
Yeah.
last question to you before we end this conversation is related
Yeah.
to this only, is related to health in general and the
Yeah.
benefits of, like, how you feel like your life has changed as a woman, as a mom of kids, that since
Hmm.
you have something like dancing, like, how much positive effects do you think you've seen in your mental health and your physical health because of it?
Yeah, of course. That's, I think, amazing because of the dance, it is always nice. Maybe I'm healthy physically and mentally. Why? Because I understand my body well.
Okay.
I know what
Hmm.
is happening. I think that people miss a lot.
Hmm.
Oh, firstly, you should understand your body. Like even being a dancer, you know where to use your toes, you know where to use your knees. Oh, they're hampering my knees. Oh, I should not be dancing. Because subconsciously, we are very set,
Yeah.
technically perfect. I will not say all dancers. I think classical dancers get that because we are trained that way. And that's why I say every performer that you should be having a classical training because that teaches
Okay.
you with proper technique, whether it is ballet, whether it is Kathak, whether it is Bharatanatyam, whether it is any classical form, like how you get trained in classical form of Sangeet also. So I think that helps you a lot to understand, okay, this is my body I'm using or I'm abusing my body. And of
Hmm.
course, being young, like when you're young, you really abuse your body. At times you don't understand. But that time it's okay. But at certain point where you should understand, okay, I used to dancing for 12 hours,
Yeah.
dancing and eating and dancing, but at certain age, you should know your body. You should work accordingly. And yeah, of course, being a dancer, that helped me a lot to understand myself. And I have been active all my life. This is the fat I could get. इससे ज़्यादा मैं मोटी नहीं हो पाती because I know myself. Like I will work out. Oh, आज मैंने नहीं किया. Oh, no, no, body
Yeah.
pains. My mom वो muscle memory बन जाती है हमारी. So maybe that
Hmm.
is very helpful for a dancer
Yeah.
rather than a normal person. The
Hmm.
job guys, they okay, मैं इतना walk कर लूंगी, मेरा इतना हो गया, मैं इतना खाऊंगी वो है. But for dancer, it is again a challenge because my body is used to dancing for 10 to 12 hours, more than that.
Yeah.
Now I can't dance for 14 hours that way because I have other things to do. I
Yeah.
would love to, but then again, I have other things to do. I have other responsibilities. But मेरा सिर्फ walk से नहीं चलेगा. But then I have to work out. I have
Yeah.
to dance also, I have to work out also, and then I walk also. Then it
Hmm.
helps my body to, get back me healthily. If I
Yeah.
don't function that way, then again I can go back to my depression or that sort. So I think that's how it is. Huh? Being a dancer, I'm that way. My muscle memory has made it. It is made that way, right?
Yeah.
And for normal person, unka schedule. That's how they follow. But I think you need to know yourself first. That is
Well,
more important, what I feel.
I think, you are way more wiser, and you have so many deep philosophical things to think about in general, with your dance acumen. So I think, very, very interesting conversation for me as well. And I'm sure, this conversation, I hope it opens door and makes it accessible for any mom who listens to this
Yeah.
episode, and realize that she can also just pick up that activity possibly 1 hour of the day,
Yes.
and she can
Yes.
start living her individual life as well. Because I just feel that's a
Yes.
sad death for an individual, just to not live out what they always wanted to do. Maybe if they wanted to dance, then if they don't have access to resources, or if they don't have role models to look up to, like,
Yeah.
people like you who actually did something which they always wanted to do. So I think
Yeah.
conversations like these, if they enable that, then we both did a good job.
So sweet. I think that's the amazing thing you're doing. And all the best to you, Ripudaman. You're
Thank you
doing
so much,
great.
madam.
And I wish you the best for your journey.
Thank you so
and
much.
enjoy what you do. I think that's the most important, right? And be passionate and be learner all your life.
Yeah, I think I do actually require some touching up on my dance skills, because my now, like, corporate folks now know all of my moves at all the
Uh,
office parties. So I think I'll have to learn some, and I'll definitely go and watch some of your videos.
for mine, it's like a kathak.
Maybe I
You know,
start doing this on an office party. And
better better
surprise,
तो कह नहीं सकते हो.
everyone is like, okay, what is happening? Bhai, ruko.
But that's nice. You should listen to music and it's just dance. I think that's the best for everyone. And every individual has their own rhythm of life. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think you should not miss that. Whether you're traveling, there's another rhythm. When you're cooking, there's maybe I'm a creative part. That's why I
yeah,
have rhythms in my life. but but usually I think you should think that way. What is my rhythm of breathing? Breathing is very important, right? I've heard that breathing is a very integral part of our body. And I think
yeah,
if that misses the rhythm of your that's the rhythm of our life, right? The breathing.
yeah,
So if that is intact, if that is nice, I think then you're healthy, right? Like when you're angry, your breathing, breathing rhythm goes up and down. When you're
yeah,
quiet, you're, kind of at peace. So I
yeah.
think that rhythm of your life has to be well maintained.
Well, what a note to end the conversation. Thank you so much, Pallavi ma'am, for
Rhythm
being on
of
the show.
life.
And I'm sure, people who listen to this derive a lot of value out of this. And I'm sure, whenever I am looking for that next dancing tutorial, you will be the one I reach out to.
Ah, so sweet, Ripadavan. It was nice talking to you, and all the best for your future podcast. I shall see more of your podcast, and I
Yeah.
would, like I'll be kind of following you now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Namaste.